of kind of bad stuff going on for him to leave, and so I think he might have run radio silent on a couple of us. But when he's reached out to me a couple of times, even like with my dad passing and everything, just sending his condolences. So I got nothing but love in my heart for Lake and our time together. So.
When did you get hurt with your? When did the injury happen?
Yeah, I injured my shoulder in spring ball, and by the time I got my scans, I was giving up time in my last season. So I just braced up and dealt with it.
So what was the injury? Or?
Right labrum.
Okay.
And so have they told you when you're looking, like when you'll be cleared, or what?
Yeah, well, it's a 6-month recovery process, 6 weeks in the sling, but I made Achilles in 6-7 months, so I don't expect to be a full 6-month recovery. Hopefully I can do it in like 4.5.
Was that hard to play through last year then, or what was it like?
It had its moments, but it's part of the game. I made the decision to play through it, and I knew what I had to do to maintain it.
What do you remember most about getting ready for the Texas game in the college football playoff? Was there anything that anything about that you remember? Anything about specifically getting ready for those guys as far as matching up with them?
Yeah, I think I just remember the confidence that we had in our team going into that. Felt like maybe towards the end of the season we're kind of scraping our health together. Trying to get our guys back on the field, trying to stay on the field, and so we had that opportunity to 3-4 weeks to get healthy and really nail the game plan. And we also had a little bit of confidence having played them the year prior. So it was a competitive game back and forth down to the last play, but I think we never really wavered in what we believed the result was going to be.
Were you a little bit worried there? A little bit worried there at the end with
the big play, yeah, for sure. Got my heart racing a little bit, but once it was finished, it was like, all right, finally, we were used to nail biters by the end of the season.
Okay, and then one more thing, you've been in practice against Roma Dunze, Jalen McNeil, and Jalen Poole. How do you out of those dudes, how are their styles different? How is it kind of dealing with them in practice, specifically for each of those players?
Yeah, I think they are explosive players, and we had an explosive offensive scheme, and so it's definitely hard to contain them on a day-to-day basis. I would say most days we did it, but I would say it's kind of like having a bunch of tricks in the bag. Is like if you take away one, the next one's gonna go off. It's like there were practices we shut down Rome, and then Jalen's going off, JP's going off for 200 yards, and J-Mac's coming back. So we're kind of just letting him practice, and next thing you know, he's going off, down the seam. So definitely hard to contain him, but they had a brilliant mind, setting him up in Grub. Now he's at Seattle. Excited to see what he's going to do there, but I think the combination of those three receivers, and you got second in Heisman and Mike, now NFL coordinator in Grub. It's just kind of led us to where we are.
Can you talk about Michael Penix and just what he meant to your team and the growth that you saw from him as a player?
Yeah, what I appreciate about Mike is, I'm kind of a sports junkie, so when he came and transferred, I knew about him, especially more off of that Penn State game, the reach and everything like that. And so I was kind of already a fan of him, but he kind of chose to, take that slow rise and really earn that starting role and gain the respect before trying to be, not that he's necessarily a flashy guy, but, that all the flash that comes with the position. And so, the respect that he has among his teammates, it's not just, he's our quarterback, let's ride with him. He earned that before he was our quarterback. So, I love that guy. I'm rooting for him. I hope he gets taken high, and whoever gets him is going to get a gem. So,
have you met with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers yet?
I've not, no.
What stood out about Caleb Williams when you guys played?
Caleb Williams?
Yeah,
he's just he's quite a specimen. But I remember I was going out on the field for our first drive against USC, and me and Braylon kind of looked at each other just after seeing him, because you watch the tape and everything, and he's an explosive guy. But then what we worry about is his change of direction. He always does this little shuffle mid-run that's just breaking guys off, or he sees things. I think he threw a pretty crazy spin move against one of our guys in slow motion in the first quarter. So his mind, what he sees out there, it's he's really just playing. But we came to the sideline after the first drive, and I was like, Brendan, you see that? And he's like, what? I was like, you see his legs, bro? And he's like, was like, no, he's massive. He's built like a bulldog. And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like he must have like a low center of gravity or something, and his legs are just, back him up in that way. So yeah, he's an athlete, and I mean, he lit us up even though we were able to come out with the win. So.